A bombshell that's got the MLB front offices in meltdown mode, fans erupting like volcanoes, and rival GMs plotting their next moves from the shadows. Imagine this. The Los Angeles Dodgers, riding high on their Edwin Diaz blockbuster to patch up that leaky bullpen from last season, just dropped a signing that's so sneaky, so under the radar, it's practically a covert operation. They've brought back Chucky Robinson, a 31-year-old catcher who's a World Series champion in Dodgers blue, but who slipped away to the Braves only to boomerang right back. Yeah, you heard me. Chucky Robinson is back, and if you think this is just some filler move to round out the roster, think again. This is Andrew Friedman's masterclass in chess, a calculated strike that's got Braves fans screaming theft, Dodgers loyalists chanting genius, and the whole league whispering about a conspiracy to rig the game. Let's break this down layer by layer because folks, this could be the linchpin for a historic three-peat or the fuse that blows up competitive balance forever. What do you think? Is Friedman a visionary or a villain? Drop your hot takes in the comments right now, and let's dive into the madness. First, the hook that hit like a freight train. The Dodgers officially inked Chucky Robinson to a new contract, straight from the MLB transaction log. This ain't your typical off-season splash. Forget the headlines about Kyle Tucker or Shohei Ohtani. No, this is the peripheral addition that Forbes' Peter Chachiaga dissected as Friedman's secret sauce. Quote, the team could continue to bring in blockbuster talent this winter, but in the meantime, it seems like they are focused on more peripheral additions. Boom. Peripheral? That's insider lingo for underrated weapon of mass destruction. And get this, the timeline is straight out of a thriller. Robinson had a one-game cameo with the Dodgers in 2023 before getting optioned to the minors. Late September, the Atlanta Braves claim him off waivers, thinking they've snagged a bargain. But less than 2 months later? Poof, he's off their 40-man roster, elects free agency, and the Dodgers swoop in like vultures on a carcass. Conspiracy alert. Was this orchestrated? Did Friedman plant the seed, letting the Braves win him temporarily to mask the real play? People are furious. Braves fans are flooding social media with "Dodgers stole our guy" memes, while Dodgers diehards are high-fiving, calling it Friedman magic. But why this guy? Why now? The outrage is palpable, the stakes are through the roof, and here's the crazy part. This signing could expose cracks in the league's foundation. Rhetorical question. How many times have we seen a forgotten player become a game-changer? Too many to count, but this feels different, darker, more calculated. Let's unpack the situation setup, because the public's reaction? It's a powder keg ready to explode. Alright, let's set the scene with laser focus. The Dodgers are locked in on repeating as World Series champions, and they've already made waves by landing Edwin Diaz, the best closer on the planet, to solve what was arguably their biggest 2023 flaw, a bullpen that crumbled in crunch time. But Andrew Friedman, the GM who's often hailed as MLB's puppet master, doesn't stop at the big fish. No, he's the king of the little moves that snowball into avalanches. Remember how he stacked the roster with those underrated gems that pop up when you least expect? This Chucky Robinson reunion is Exhibit A. Why the strong reaction? Because in a league obsessed with blockbusters, this feels like a stealth bomber. The public, fans, media, execs, is losing their minds because it screams insider advantage. Dodgers fans are ecstatic, seeing it as proof Friedman's untouchable. Rivals are paranoid, wondering if their own depth is now obsolete. And the Braves? Oh man, they're the poster boys for outrage. Their front office must be kicking themselves. Did they just hand the Dodgers a weapon? Rhetorical question. In a sport where every edge counts, is this fair play or foul? The tension's building, folks, and we're just scratching the surface. Now, onto the player and team background, because without context, this signing's just noise. Diving deep into Chucky Robinson's world. This guy's a journeyman catcher, 31 years old, with a resume that's equal parts grind and grit. For diehard Dodgers fans, he might ring a bell from spring training or that brief 2023 call-up, but he's flown under the radar for most. Born and bred in the minors, Robinson's bounced around like a nomad. White Sox, Angels, Reds, Braves, and now back to LA. His claim to fame? He's a World Series champion, courtesy of his Dodgers stint, but let's not overhype. He was a depth piece then. Still, that familiarity with the organization is huge. Team background? The Dodgers are a juggernaut. Ohtani as the DH phenom, Freddie Freeman at first, Mookie Betts in center, Will Smith behind the plate. But their catching situation post-2023? The ticking time bomb. Smith was electric. 17 homers, 61 RBIs, .404 OBP, striking out just 89 times in 362 ABs, but injuries limited him. Forbes' Chachiaga hits the nail. The Dodgers have superstar backstop Will Smith returning, but they face pressure to give him as much rest as possible after injury setbacks. Enter Dalton Rushing, the versatile backup who can play first base. But Robinson? He's the insurance policy, the guy who knows the pitchers, the clubhouse, the vibe. His minor league pedigree shines. In 2023 with the Comets, he slashed .261 with 43 runs and over 200 ABs. MLB stats? Sparse. 1 AB, got on base, walk or fielder's choice, details fuzzy. Lifetime .258 average but with a sub-.200 in limited action. Weaknesses? Offense isn't his forte, he's no power bat. But strengths? Defense is his superpower, framing, blocking, pitch calling. Roster implications? This signing shores up depth, prevents panic if Smith or Rushing falter. Salary? Likely a minor league deal, smart cap play. Conspiracy angle? Friedman's been accused of hoarding talent before. This feels like another layer. Comparisons to past Dodgers moves? Think of those underrated signings that became stars. Robinson could be next. Fans are buzzing, he's the missing link. Media split, some call it genius, others overkill. But here's the intrigue. Is Robinson the sleeper agent in Friedman's grand plan? Now, the conspiracy angle that's got my conspiracy theorist hat on full blast. Why reunite with Robinson after the Braves claimed him? It smells like a setup. He gets optioned by LA, Braves snatch him, then cut him loose in under 2 months. Coincidence? Nah. Friedman's a strategist. He lets rivals win small battles to distract from the war. This signing reeks of manipulation, perhaps leaking Robinson's availability to bait the Braves, then reclaiming him to strengthen the battery. Is it part of a bigger conspiracy to create competitive imbalance? Dodgers already have Ohtani dominating DH. Now depth that no one can match. Rhetorical question. How many GMs play this long game? Friedman's the master. Comparisons? Like how the Patriots deflated balls or the Astros sign-stealing scandal. This feels like MLB's version of strategic espionage. League patterns? Teams like the Yankees build dynasties through depth. Dodgers are doing it quietly, suspiciously. Rivals are outraged. Braves execs are probably in emergency meetings. Media? Chachiaga's peripheral quote hints at it. But fans? They're divided. Dodgers fans love the stealth mode, others cry foul. Here's the crazy part. What if Robinson's return exposes a league-wide flaw? Is Friedman rigging free agency to stack the deck? The stakes? Massive. If this leads to another title, calls for rules changes will echo. People are furious and the intrigue is killing me. Let's compare this to past moves to see the pattern. Comparisons are key here, folks, because Friedman's MO is repeating success. Remember those little signings that exploded? Like, hypothetical example, the utility infielder who became a playoff hero in 2022. This Robinson deal mirrors that underrated, low-risk, high-reward. Team behaviors? Dodgers thrive on depth. Rivals like the Padres or Giants panic over gaps. League patterns? Blockbuster winters, e.g. Yankees big spends, versus Dodgers, smart ads. Past signings? Diaz was the headline, Robinson's the fine print. Rhetorical question. Why does Friedman always win these gambles? Because he's seeing the peripherals, as Chachiaga says. Fans compare it to the Braves' own depth moves. Ironic, right? Media's drawing parallels to other GMs' quiet coups. But here's the escalation. If Robinson pans out, it could set a new standard, making rivals furious. What do you think? Pattern or anomaly? Drop comparisons in the comments. Breaking down the roster fit with surgical precision. Dodgers catching depth was a vulnerability last season. Smith's injuries exposed it. Rushing bats .205? Not ideal. Robinson adds layers, backup to backup, with versatility. With Ohtani DHing, rest is tricky. Freeman needs breaks too. Robinson could spell at first or catcher. Positional issues? Solved, no more holes. Depth charts? Smith primary rushing utility, Robinson emergency ace. Salary dynamics? Low cost, freeze cap for Tucker/Bichette. Development concerns? Robinson's MLB offense is meh, but minors show growth potential. Hypotheticals. If Smith misses games, Robinson keeps the battery intact. If Rushing struggles, Robinson steps up. This signing ensures October readiness. Comparisons? Like adding a safety net to a high-wire act. Fans are analyzing, perfect fit. Media agrees. Chachiaga notes Rushing's potential at first. But the big question, Does this imbalance the field? Roster implications are huge. Dodgers now have unfair depth. Scouting deep dive because stats don't lie. Robinson's strengths: elite defense, pitch framing, top 10% in minors, quick release. Weaknesses: offense, .261 BA, no power pop. Stats: 2023 minors, 43 solid OBP, MLB limited, .258 lifetime. Projections: 20 to 30 games, .250 AVG, saves bullpen with framing. Compared to rushing? Robinson's steadier glove. Hypotheticals: in playoffs his defense wins games. Scouting reports rave: knows pitchers, handles pressure. Fans project him as a stealth star. Media: Chachiaga highlights his utility. But weaknesses? Could he hit enough? Rhetorical question: is defense enough in today's game? The breakdown shows potential but risks linger. League-wide reaction? Absolute pandemonium. Braves fans: Dodgers robbed us. Dodgers faithful: Friedman genius. Media: Chachiaga calls it peripheral brilliance. Rivals? Padres execs are fuming: unfair depth. Social media's a war zone. Tweets like conspiracy confirmed. Executives? Friedman's smirking: others are envious. People are furious. Calls for investigations? Nah, but outrage is real. Rhetorical question: why the hate? Because it works. Fans are engaged, media's dissecting. The chaos is electric. Big picture implications? This signing means healthier Smith, deeper Dodgers, easier star rest. Season outlook: repeat title likely. Free agency? Positions for Tucker. League balance? Conspiracy fears: Dodgers hoarding talent. Hypotheticals: if Robinson thrives, dynasty; if not, scrutiny. What it means: MLB's competitive edge erodes. Fans worry: is this the end of parity? Media speculates rules changes. The stakes? Monumental, could redefine the sport. In the end, Dodgers Nation, this Chucky Robinson signing is Friedman's quiet coup, a move that could cement LA's legacy or spark a revolution. Genius or rigging? The outrage rages, the questions linger. What do you think? Hero or harbinger? Drop your thoughts, like, subscribe for more chaos, hit the bell. Dodgers Digest out. Stay vigilant because in MLB the shadows hide the real game.